Hello, welcome to Duncan Egg Bricks and to my third and final early March 2022 set review. This is set 76908, the Lamborghini Countach. So as I said, this is the third and final set I managed to pick up a bit early from a local toy shop. We're now very near the 1st of March, so this set and everything else in this March wave will be released in just every shop very soon. So I don't think I'll be buying any more sets until those do come out, although I will get my hands on a couple of them and do some more reviews. So I decided to go for this set because I really enjoy the Speed Champions builds, especially now they have moved to the 8-wide builds. I think this is actually the third, either the third wave or actually the third year that they have come in the 8-wide variety. Just allows a lot more detail to be packed in. I've previously reviewed the Koenigsegg Jesko from the previous wave. I'll leave a link to that. And I have had a couple of ones before that. I went for this one because I really like the way it looks, actually. The real Lamborghini Countach in real life is quite an angular car, so I think that translates quite well to a Lego set. Obviously, some of the more smoother, streamlined cars don't translate quite as well, although they can still look quite good in Lego. So I thought I would get this and build it up. It was a really fun build, and let you know my thoughts on it overall. It only comes with one fig, so we will take a look at him first. So here's our driver minifigure. Apologies, he's a little bit difficult to see because he's in an all-black outfit and the background is quite bright and white. That's a bit better. So he's got a fairly simple design. Actually, he's not completely black. He's actually got dark blue legs, but dark colours overall. And then a black sort of zip-up top with pockets with the Lamborghini logo on the left breast. Very simple detailing around the back just for the collar at the top. Comes complete with a wrench, which has actually been used in these sets as a tool to get the wheel covers off. This doesn't come with the regular wheel covers, but it's still useful for that. Comes with a standard helmet that we've been getting for a number of years now, but as has become more common, we do actually get a hairpiece for him, so we can just pop that on instead of the helmet. Just doesn't cost too much extra to add and looks really nice. Doesn't come with an alternate face. Anyway, we're not buying this set for the fig, so let's get on and look at the car. So even though I don't know much about the prototype car, it's instantly recognisable as a Lamborghini. That kind of tapered front looks really good, and there are just some fantastic techniques all throughout this. Before we go through those, though, I will just point out one fairly obvious negative, and that is the colour of this print on the roof piece. If you don't know, this is just a single translucent black / translucent brown piece with white printing on it, and for a long time now, Lego's printing on translucent pieces has not been fantastic, and white is one of the worst offenders. That colour just does not match the colour of white Lego pieces. Just get my smudgy fingerprints off the front, which is a real shame. It actually looks worse on camera than it does in real life, and obviously depending on the lighting, it'll show up more or less. Actually, I think my fingerprints are on the inside. That's why they've not been able to wipe them off. But yeah, it is a small downside, but considering it's quite a large part of the visual appearance from the outside, it is a little bit of a shame they weren't able to print that better. Come on, Lego, I know you can do it. But anyway, right, on to the build of the car itself. Like I said, this is an 8-wide Speed Champions build. It does use the newer 8-wide base with the offset studs in the middle. Makes good use of that, lengthens it slightly. You might be able to see just here that this front bit here, whether it's the splitter or just the lower part of the nose, is actually attached using modified plates with bars attached into some hollow studs opposite. So that puts it at just exactly the right distance away, so it just misses that wheel, lines up with the wheel arch, and allows the perfect amount of space for this front to dip down there. Speaking of the front, it's important to point out here that the headlights, although I'm led to believe these are actually not the full headlights would actually be flip-up ones, which are indicated by these clear-backed stickers. The entire sticker sheet is clear-backed, and they would flip up, obviously don't in the Lego model. But anyway, these lights are brick-built. They are trans-clear bricks and plates on their side, and you might be able to see the indicators through that, and what those actually are stickers on curved slopes underneath. It's a brilliant technique I've not really seen before. It's not 100% effective, but I think it's a really cool idea. You can kind of see the colour refracted up through there, and it's especially obvious if you look straight down. I think it's just a very interesting technique, and it's so much better than just printing or putting stickers on pieces, especially on a car like this, which is really angular and actually can benefit from having brick-built details. We've got quite a lot of stickers in this set. I'll show you the spent sticker sheet. So got quite a few, go all the way up to number 10 there. I will point out where stickers are, although there are some prints involved as well. The sticker on the front there, this 1x6 tile, 2 more stickers just under here, which all seal up very nicely. This nose is actually just some regular hinges just here. Just goes down at the perfect angle with those slopes underneath, and forms just a brilliant front of the car. I think the fronts of cars, in my opinion, have been some of the weaker points of Speed Champion sets. But the backs are generally pretty good, and that trend is followed just here. These amazing techniques here using these cones as the rear lights, which are pretty accurate to the shape of the ones on the actual car. There's another sticker back here saying Lamborghini Countach. There's actually things attached from 2 different angles. So under here, we've got these just simply clipped on. If I just pull down the exhausts, these are simply just clipped on. It's a fairly simple technique. But then the counterparts on the top are done in a very interesting way. They are actually, you might be able to see there's a little bit of movement in them. They're actually anchored right in the middle. I'll see if I can just pop off the cover at the back quickly. I'm just conscious I don't want to cause too much damage, but I think it is important to show you what's going on underneath here. He says as he breaks everything, and right, I am nearly there. There we go. Right, that's how we take that off. So just a little bit of reassembly required in a second. You might be able to see there are some Technic linkages there, Technic connectors, and these entire side bits are held on using one of these modified round tiles that just goes into the axle hole of one of these pieces. So it's a decent connection, but you know, it can just slide straight out. In fact, the whole thing is just locked in place by these white plates behind these panels. So that just swings right down into there, angles, suits the angle at the back here absolutely perfectly, and forms these air intakes on top, which in conjunction with these pieces just here, which are just on normal hinges, the overall effect is really, really good. Right, let me put this back together and we'll take a look at the interior and some of the other features. The interior is something we've come to expect. It's very similar. The minifig is seated right down on the sort of floor of the car, on that piece with the 5 offset studs. There's an unprinted light bluish grey microphone piece representing the gear shift in the middle, and then there's a steering wheel there, ever so slightly offset unfortunately, but it is required for the structure around it. It's a representation of the dashboard, but no printed or stickered decoration for any of the tiles or anything like that. You might just be able to see here how those details are fitted in with panels just above, making the perfect amount of space. Pop this back on. The only other thing to really say is about the spoiler at the back. This is just attached using clips, and then these pieces here, which were previously in trans clear as minifig accessory holders, usually with characters like Spider-Man or Iron Man, although I am led to believe that they are slightly different parts in that these have got a slightly longer gap between the bar and the studded bit at the top. For all intents and purposes, they serve the same function, but these ones are obviously in black, and that just clips on there. It's actually surprisingly sturdy once it's clipped on. You have to do a bit of pushing and shoving to actually get it off. One last thing here, I suppose. We have got printed 2x2 round tiles, which I can just pop out there. These are just the wheel covers, which I'm led to believe are very accurate. They look really nice. It's the same piece 4 times, and that just attaches to here in the same way that one of the normal wheel covers would. I know there's a little bit of controversy about this bit here. If you want more details, I will link a very good video about that from another channel that I was watching. It just goes into a little bit more detail about what this represents. To be honest, at this scale, I'm not fussed about it. It's a nice little detail. It's great that it's brick built. And I think that, you know, I think sometimes we're a little bit too harsh on Lego designers. Sometimes I think people are a bit too lenient, but I think sometimes you've got to appreciate the fantastic work that the Lego designers do. Last couple of things, the spare pieces are here, and we get a decent amount of them. All the usual pieces that you'd expect. It's nice to get a spare one of these, a couple of hollow studs and a spare visor. And then the box for the set, which I did show at the beginning, is just the standard single car Speed Champions box. It's rated for 8+. I'd actually say this is quite a complicated build. I saw somebody else who commented and said that this is kind of like getting the complexity and value of an 18+ set in a relatively cheap box, as it were. And I think I have to agree with them. Obviously, these don't come with a huge number of pieces, but for the amount of pieces they do, the builds are very interesting and very complex. I do like cars, but you know, I never collected any of the 6-wide Speed Champion sets, really. So it's really this 8-wide form factor which has allowed so much more detail and has made it so much more interesting for me to collect and build. And I will definitely be getting my hands on at least 1 or 2 others. I've got my eyes on the Lotus car, which is another one of the single packs, partly because it's a nice looking car, and partly because as someone who lives and works in Norfolk at the moment, although I'm not originally from here, it would be cool to get a Norfolk branded car, because I don't think there are many of them. In fact, that might be the only one. So keep your eyes peeled for a review of that in the future. Right, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed, please give the video a like, leave a comment down below, and I will do my best to get back to you. And subscribe to the channel for more videos and more reviews, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.